Battlefield Bad Company came out all the way back in 2008, and recently I returned to the game here in 2023 on the PlayStation 3 to see how it was doing in the modern day. Is it still playable on the PS3 here in 2023? Is there a bunch of cheaters? Is there enough players to fill lobbies? Well, I hopped in to answer all these questions, so let's get into it. So I checked out the game on a Friday, which, weekends, including Fridays, are typically the high points of the most players on the game, just as a heads up. So I played in the morning, the afternoon, and the nighttime, and in the morning and afternoons I could find lobbies very easily, and some lobbies would be full and some lobbies would be not so full, except the ones that were not so full were typically on the smaller, closer range, fast-paced game modes, so it wasn't actually that bad. It was more like a 5v5 and stuff like that. So at least playing on the weekends and during the mornings or mid-afternoon times, like around 3 p.m. Pacific time, and keep in mind I'm playing the West Coast region. I'm not sure if regions affect matchmaking on Battlefield Bad Company, but for the most part you can get into servers and can play matches, so it's not actually that bad. However, when I got into the later nights, around like 10 p.m. Pacific time, give or take, I couldn't find as many people on, only a handful, and you could probably play a small game with that, but it's not as enjoyable as earlier on when there's a bunch of people. So that was my experience with the player counts during different time periods on that Friday. So getting into cheating and modding, was there a lot of cheaters? Was there a lot of modding going on? Well, actually, no. I mean, as far as I can tell, because here in the Battlefield games, at least here in Bad Company 1 especially, it's very hard to tell if someone's actually cheating or modding. It's not like there's kill cams or anything like that. But as far as I could tell, nothing seemed off or cheating of any type. So that's at least a bonus on that end. You can actually play Battlefield Bad Company without having to worry about cheaters or modders, for the vast majority at least. Now, it sounds not bad and sounds pretty good here, but now we're going to get into the truly fatal part of this game in the modern day, and that is what types of players we're playing. I'm happy to say that it's mostly casual players, a lot of casual players, and there's a good decent amount of decent or good players in there as well though, but fewer and further between at least. Now the thing is, about these casual players, I want to assume that they're mostly children, unfortunately. And why is that unfortunate? Because the children seem to not be able to differentiate a friendly team from an enemy team. So, with no repercussions in Bad Company 1, you will be team killed almost every game you play, and consistently and constantly, and it was very annoying. And it wasn't just by the same person, it was by different people on my team and in different servers and different matches all throughout the day. Of course, different time periods had less than others though. So while I could easily get a lot of kills against the enemies, I would usually get killed by my teammates, and without even noticing or thinking about it, unfortunately. So I ended up having to avoid my teammates and try to kill enemies, so I was basically fighting a free-for-all, except I never actually killed any of my teammates, I was simply trying to avoid them. So it made for a sort of unenjoyable experience overall. So that's my experience of Bad Company 1 here in 2023 on the PS3. Overall, it's relatively playable, but can be considerably unenjoyable if you're running into team killers constantly. Now, besides wanting to return to Bad Company 1 itself and checking out its maps and weapons and stuff like that for nostalgia or just experience reasons, or even playing the campaign, there's really not a reason to come back to Bad Company 1 here in 2023, because I'm sure there's other Battlefield games here on the PS3 as well that are probably far better in terms of the experience and gameplay. But that's just my assumption, because we'll have to get to the rest of the Battlefield games coming up. But nonetheless, guys, that's going to be it for this video, and you guys asked, so in the future I will be doing Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3 videos here in the PS3 to see how they're doing here in 2023, and I will also be continuing and going down the rest of the Battlefield games. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed or found this useful, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to see more PS3 games here in 2023 and how they're doing online. And thank you all for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.